Welcome into the podcast today. We have one of our esteemed members of UAC, Dr. Jay Greenstein, who, Jay has been in all corners of the profession. He's really leading the charge on AI right now and all the different ways to integrate that, not only in his company and his product with his app helping to deliver better results to clinicians through tracking their patients at home, but also inside of his 4 clinics in the Washington, D.C. area. This is an amazing, amazing episode with an amazing man, Dr. Jay. Today's episode is brought to us by Genesis by ClinicMind. Genesis is a cloud-based EHR system. I will tell you, I've used Genesis for over 10 years in our 4 clinics. We have a centralized call center, and back when we started with them, they were the only cloud-based system out there. We need to get out of servers because of my front desk in one office did something and my call center did something else that needed to change on our EHR in real time. Genesis is just really, if you're shopping EHRs, we've been really pleased with them in our multiple clinics. Great service provider. You can look them up on Google under Genesis ClinicMind for more information. Let's jump into the episode. Hey everyone, welcome into the UAC Best Practices Podcast. We're really focused on this podcast for chiropractors looking for best practices to grow their clinics. UAC is a group of close to 100 docs who do over $400 million annually in revenue. And there's a lot of wisdom that comes from that, a lot of genius and a lot of scar tissue. And so we can tap into that so you learn something. We know you're going to be better off for it. And quite frankly, we're all better off for it too. So with that said, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Dr. Brian Capra. Take it away, Cap.
Thanks, Alan. I'd like to, we have a great guest today. It's a longtime friend of mine, somebody I pulled into UAC, and I'm sure the group is really happy to have him, and he's also super excited to be here. Yeah, so we want to, again, share some things that you can learn and implement, but probably as we've been going on today, Alan, some of the things you can learn and help avoid big mistakes, right? So could be just as valuable, if not more. So,
hey, Brian, I have to say something that you probably don't know, Jay, but it was probably 3 or 4 years. Brian kept saying, I got to get my friend Jay into UAC. And I was like, I don't know who Jay is. And you got to know Jay. You don't know Jay? You got to meet Jay. I heard your name, Jay, for 4 years before you ever came around. And then you came in and you're an easy guy to love. You just slid right in and brought your energy to the whole group. Thanks, it was funny. I was thinking today, like Cap was telling me about Jay for so long before we ever got to me. And Jay and I are now an accountability group together, full disclosure. So yes. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to slip that story in. I'd never told you that, Jay. Yeah.
I had to strong arm him into the group. Anyway, his name is Dr. Jay Greenstein. I didn't say that. And I was like, you have to join. We were at dinner one night. He's like, fine, you got to join something. And I joined and I never went. But not because I don't want to. Anyway, Dr. Jay, thanks for joining. It's great to see you again. I'll see you in 2 minutes because we're staying in the same hotel. We're actually having a meeting today.
Exactly.
So, again, we want to share some things that can help out docs, some best practices. What do you got working right now? What's something that comes to your mind that's made a big impact on your business and your life and your practice?
I mean, I think the main thing for me is AI. We got to get our profession engaged with AI. I always say learn, play, and implement, because those that do actually win. People are afraid of it. They're like, I don't know what to do with it. Like if you don't know what to do with it, just ask it what to do with it. Like it literally is that simple. Like don't overthink it. There are so many different tools out there now. There are new tools coming out every day. There's so many different use cases. And typically, and I can ramble on about this for a long time, guys, so cut me off whenever you need to. But like, I think about the 4 different use cases. I think about talent management. I think about marketing. I think about operations related to patient experience and retention. And then I think about revenue growth. And so how do we use those different elements of our businesses and apply AI appropriately? And again, if you've never started out with AI, you should know a couple of things. The first thing that you should know is that there's different types of AI. There's generative AI, which is the ChatGPTs of the world, Gemini, Claude, Gamma app, HeyGen, they're all creating content based on a prompt that you give it. There are custom GPTs that you can make where you actually set up the GPT or the AI to actually provide a certain result for a repeated job task that you need to do over and over and over again. And then there's agentic AI where you're actually leveraging an AI tool or AI technology where that agent gets smarter over time. It literally will learn over time. And I think, the leaders in our profession, the people who are in UAC, because we have our accountability group that Alan mentioned, and like we're talking about this on a regular basis, are implementing all of these types of AI in their practices to create leverage. So, again, really important for the chiropractic profession and individual docs to start using these tools, but also start training your team to use these tools as well.
Yeah, Alan, you and I spoke about this last week, I think it was. I'm like, I got this contract. I got to read this contract. What if I miss something? So, and Alan just said something like, why didn't I think of that? And it's been like that more and more. He goes, just give it to the ChatGPT, see what it says. And you know what? It found a lot of mistakes, actually, that I was completely missing. It had the wrong entity in there, like in different places and all kinds of weird stuff. And somehow it picked that up. But yeah, there's these things that, I think yesterday or Monday, or like, I got to create this presentation. And rather than write the whole damn thing out, I just gave it uploaded some content and some things and said, this is what I'm trying to do. And boom, like way better than I could have done. And in 5 seconds. And then you told me about, what was the presentation, Gamma or Gemma?
Yep, Gamma app. Gamma.app, yep.
That spit out my presentation, branded perfectly in literally minutes. Like
these are incredible tools. And I say this all the time when I'm talking about AI, it's like, it's never going to get worse than it is today, because tomorrow it's going to be even better. And the day after that, it's going to be even better. And I want docs, especially in our profession, to not be afraid. They just need to try it, play with it as if they're playing with Lincoln Logs when they were a kid. If something fell down, they would just pick up the logs and do it all over again. They would just play. And I think the more they experiment, the more they're going to just get used to using it. And the more they use it, the more they understand how it's going to create leverage in their business.
Jay, so those listening don't know, Jay owns several clinics in the Washington, D.C. area. So like most people in UAC, you're not just sitting here talking to us from theory. This is very practical. I mean, you're looking every day. How can I use this to save money, get time back, get better patient outcomes? What's the most basic place you're seeing your doctors or your CAs or your clinics? Can you just give where are people actually using it in your businesses right now?
Absolutely. I'll give a couple different use cases. So the first use case is going to be like recruiting and talent management. So like we created a new position in our organization, someone who is going to be in the clinics, helping out with our ops team, because our ops team is completely remote. We don't have front desk CAs anymore. Everybody in the clinics produces revenue. But this one person is like the liaison between centralized ops and the clinics, and we needed a job ad. And so we went to ChatGPT. My director of ops went to ChatGPT, put a prompt in that included our website, our core values, our mission statement, and took job descriptions from a couple of different sources from Indeed, created this job description, and dude, within 2 weeks, we hired this A player because we had written it in a way that matched the psychographics of the type of person that we wanted. So there's one example. Another example is for our clinic directors and our CAs. We've got KPIs, we've got a scorecard, we've got specific goals and metrics. So how do we create tactics around goals and KPIs that will help us achieve those goals? How do we reverse engineer it in a way that makes sense, that we can leverage AI to help us with that reverse engineering? So we use it for goals and KPIs as well. Things that maybe we've never thought of before, like we're at 80% of goal with this particular target. We're at 90%. We want to get to 100. What are the things that we need to do differently in order to achieve these goals? And so my team is using ChatGPT to help us get to our goals. So that's another use case. And then lastly, marketing. Just creating content from marketing is just unbelievable. Like there's our email campaigns have gotten better, our blog posts have gotten better, our social media organic posts have gotten better, our content calendar that's been created by these tools has gotten so much better. And of course, it's about speed. Like Kat mentioned, these things happen so much faster, which ultimately makes our teams way more productive.
Yeah, I'll tell you where we're using it is social media. All of our docs, we create pages for now, and our office pages, and just generating the content, the scripts, the carousels, the editing. I think that's where it's most prevalently, just last week our docs started sharing how, they all spent 20 minutes telling whichever they're using, I think it was ChatGPT, about them and the clinic and the services and why they're unique, just speaking into it, and then sharing links to the website and links to YouTube and uh, Instagram, and just having it learn the voice. So now when they go in and write prompts and hooks for different posts, it just starts cranking out. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so much easier, even if I edit it, to have a starting place than just trying to dream up, 10 posts every week. And so that's been interesting for me. That's been our application more than anything.
What's amazing is that the tool actually starts to learn the personality of the user. Like ChatGPT knows me. And one thing that I just want to share, it fucking knows me. Am I allowed to say that? Sorry, I dropped the F-bomb. Okay.
That's all right.
It's crazy because I was actually wanting to think about my personal brand, and I wanted to ask ChatGPT a question. I was like, well, how well do you know me? And it started to spit out all this stuff and analyzing me. And it's like, do you want to go deeper? I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting analyzed by ChatGPT as my psychologist. But what I really wanted to say, which is really important, is, guys, I've heard Gary Vee say this, I've heard other experts say this, that ultimately search is going to be overtaken by Gen AI. And it's, Google is going to be legacy. The typical SEO is going to be legacy, and search is going to ultimately be done using generative AI tools. And I will tell you, we as a practice are starting to get new patients from ChatGPT. Like, I'm literally looking at the referral sources, because of course we track that. And we're getting patients from ChatGPT. And literally you can ask ChatGPT, like, tell me about the top 5 chiropractors in my region, and then ask it, who are the top 3 chiropractors that I should see for back pain, neck pain, elbow, whatever it is. And if you're not showing up, you can actually ask it to build you a strategy so that you show up more on generative AI search. So like, again, like if you're not using it at all, like you should just start playing with it. But if you are using it, you need to think about what the future applications are. And in search, it is the present. It's not even the future.
Yeah, if you use ChatGPT right now, it actually prompts you to replace Google as your search engine with ChatGPT. And that's, I don't know, a few months from now. Most people, I think, are going to be using something like ChatGPT to do their search, and it's just smarter. So it's not like what chiropractors in my area, and your SEO is going to come up. Your reviews are going to really matter. Not only that you got them, but what they actually say and what conditions people mention and the experience they had. Because when people are looking, they're going to put in the search, I have this condition. I need to find a doctor where patients are talking about having good results with that condition. And it's super smart. So it's so fast. I asked it the other day. I'm putting together a ROI calculator for actually AI and appointment scheduling and reactivation. A clinic of mine, we're putting out this patient hub thing that does all this stuff. So I said, I need all the research on reactivation campaigns by the best experts in chiropractic. What's the statistics? How do you do it? What's the best practices? It brought a whole bunch of people we know that have talked about reactivation campaigns in their practice with emails and whatever, put it into an ebook. So it's an ebook by the experts on how to do it. And then the product is how you automate that, right? With a patient and the ROI calculator. It's like for automated scheduling, voice scheduling bots. What's the ROI? Well, I don't like ROI calculators that are really dependent on the doctor knowing like 10 statistics in their practice.
Yeah.
Just give me, I wanted to whittle it down. So just based on the number of visits you see per week, it figured out how to figure out how many new patient inquiries you get, your conversion rate ranges and all this stuff, and spit it out.
It's incredible.
Amazing.
Jay, I'm curious, are you reallocating yet any of your ad spend for Google for your offices? Are you not touching that yet? Are you?
Great question.
What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, not touching that yet.
We're not either. But I'm watching it, and I am concerned. Like, we worked for years to be top of Google. How do we ensure we're top of this new engine? And I've done what you said. My challenge is a lot of the things that ChatGPT recommended were things we actually do on the website. So it's not really things you do in ChatGPT. It's what you do so ChatGPT picks it up. And so that was my experience with that side of it.
But it's great that you're already ahead. Have you started to get new patients from ChatGPT?
I don't think we have, but it's funny you said that. I haven't seen that in any reports, but I also don't really look at the numbers I see are a little more upstream for how many patients, large category. So I need to ask, but I haven't heard anybody say that, but now you got me curious. So.
It's a fun exercise, right? Like, again, we're just trying to experiment and see how all these things play out. And at the end of the day, the people that are paying attention are going to be the winners in this game. There's no question about it.
Well, it's like the internet was when we started 20 years ago, when we were in the cloud. People were scared of it. There were some legitimate reasons they didn't want to be in the cloud, like they didn't have internet yet in their area. That's how long ago it was. But but there were people like just weary of and now it's like a requirement, and this is no different. Only it's going to be faster. Like,
the rate of change is so much faster.
Yeah, the rate of adoption for AI is, as compared to the internet, is going to be lightning. It's going to be a year before everybody's using it in one way or another.
For sure.
And you're going to have to.
Absolutely. Well, Jay, we like to always wrap up with the question of UAC. What's it meant to you? How have you benefited from being a part of the group? What's been the ROI on it?
I mean, like,
telling you to join.
Yeah, exactly. I'll buy you drinks tonight, Cap.
Okay.
I mean, without a doubt, it's the people. Like, the relationships that you build in UAC has made a huge difference in my life. Has it helped my business? Oh my God, of course it has. All the things that we exchange and share and learn in our accountability groups and at the events is remarkable. But at the end of the day, what matters to me are the people, the friendships, and the relationships. And I just feel really blessed. Like, it wasn't that I didn't want to go to UAC. It was just like schedule and shit like that. And then Cap was like, okay, this one, can you go? I'm like, yes, I can go. And I joined immediately. I was like, this is a no-brainer. So I appreciate the people. I love the people. And I'm just blessed to be able to be a part of it. So that's my closing answer.
Jay, briefly, just where can people, we didn't even get into your app and EMBODI, and just briefly, where do people find out about that? What is it? How do they find you?
Yeah, so we built the first of its kind software for what's called remote therapeutic monitoring, where providers can actually monitor their patients remotely when they're not in the clinic and get paid to do so. There are 4 CPT codes that providers can get paid using our software. And we've also demonstrated that our software drives retention by over 40% and revenue by over 36% for app users compared to non-app users. And we're about to publish that study. Real hard data, and it's integrated with ClinicMind, yes. Real hard data to show that, like, listen, patients are expecting a digital health experience, and we've built one that creates a remarkable one. So if anybody's interested, would love to talk to you. Our website is www.embody with an I, EMBODI health.com. And if anybody wants to get a hold of me, it's Dr. J at embodihealth.com.
Awesome. Dr. J, we love and appreciate you, man.
Love you, man. See you at the bar.
Love and appreciate you. Have fun together, guys. We'll see you.
Thanks, we will. See ya.
Bye. Bye.